Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Hafizuddin Najid from Islamic University of Malaysia. Today I would like to present my research paper titled Ontology of Social and Working Sites related to Ibn Khaldun thoughts, evaluation approaches. Ontology is a structure used to capture knowledge about a certain domain by providing related concept and relationship between them. It offers knowledge sharing framework that facilitates the representation and sharing of domain knowledge in understanding a field. The structure also included the formal naming and definition of the type, properties, and interrelationship of entities that occur for a certain domain of discourse. It was often created to limit complexity and to organize information in research field as a way of representing a common understanding of a domain. However, the consistency and correctness of the object evaluation are important consideration in the evaluation process. The concept of ontology evaluation, namely verification and validation, can be found in all categories. Method and framework for task-based evaluation may be categorized as either verification, which is quality, or validation, which is correctness. More importantly, the appropriate method for ontology evaluation must be determined by the purpose of evaluation, the application in which the ontology may be used, and the feature of the ontology that we are attempting to evaluate. Ontology validation check whether the correct ontology was built, while ontology verification determine whether the ontology was built correctly. Ontology verification ensures that the ontology was created by ontology quality criteria. The ontology evaluation stage in this research is focused on ontology design verification and technical competence validation. This is conducted after the ontology formalization phase. The highlight of this assessment is to improve the reuse of the ontology model and utility aspect as a practice for judging the ontology current content from the user point of view. This paper presents the ontology evaluation process of this research work through the ontology model which have been developed. The focus are to analyze the interview result from the expert to validate and verify the ontology semantic relationship between ethical issues from tweets on Twitter based on Ibn Khaldun thoughts. The evaluation process aims to meet the research objective by assessing the developed ontologies of ethical issues in social networking sites (SNS) based on Ibn Khaldun thoughts. This is also need to answer the research question, which is how ontology of ethical issues in SNS will based on Ibn Khaldun thoughts meet the expectation, and how this ontology meet the basic and competency question based on the suggested model. Ontology evaluation prepare procedure to evaluate and verify the quality of the developed ontology. The evaluation of ethical issues in SNS based on Ibn Khaldun thoughts on ontology involve the appointment of external expert. The evaluation comprises validation, verification, competency question assessment in Sparkle query, and user assessment tests. The criteria for ontology evaluation are suggested by the below and Crader, whereby formality is necessary for the analysis to show the relationship. Evaluation involves validation and verification by interviewing the subject expert. The validation stage adopts criteria suggested by Crader and below on how the ontology relationship need to be evaluated. The verification stage will based on a 2-point of scale assessment, which is accurate and inaccurate. If the term is unclear or partially suitable, the expert need to comment in the remark box. 146 competency questions were constructed for execution and identification of result through Sparkle query. Then the result from the Sparkle query were determined in the user assessment part and give to the participating user to evaluate the ontology content. User make a judgment whether Ibn Khaldun thought and assigned tweet meet the suitability. The role of an expert is preferred to validate the concept identified from Ibn Khaldun thought discourse to avoid conflict and bias during the ontology development process. This ensures that the developed ontology of ethical issues in Twitter based on Ibn Khaldun thoughts meet quality standard and contain authentic data. Validation evaluates the quality of ontology and ensure the knowledge construct in ontology comply with the selected criteria with the cooperation of domain and ontology expert. It is an essential part of comparing the cooperation of domain and developed ontology and confirming that the knowledge encoded in the ontology abides by the selected criteria. It helps to diminish data irregularity and hence ensure that the knowledge is accurate and meet expectation. Expert validation is on the ontology of Ibn Khaldun thoughts which are related to a semantic relationship with SNS issues from Twitter. They were to review the prepared concept and rate their status of compliance with the selected evaluation criteria. In this process, the stage of validation involves 3 experts from 2 different backgrounds. 2 of the experts are from the Information Technology Department, which review the Ontology of Ibn Khaldun thoughts and the sentiment analysis of tweet ethical issues from Twitter. And the other expert is from the Human Science Department, reviewing the concept of Ibn Khaldun thoughts and the concept assigned for tweets from Twitter. The verification step refers to the technical process that guarantees the correctness of an ontology. It refers to its association with the software environment and the communications during each phase and between phases of their life cycle. The same expert conduct the verification in a way like the validation process based on their expertise. They verify the accuracy of the concept by relating the ethical issues in SNS with Ibn Khaldun thoughts and their corresponding concept. The expert were given the verification form as a tool to execute the verification task. For verification, they were provided a different type of content in the prepared document with a 2-point scale assessment, which is accurate and inaccurate. If the text is unclear or partially suitable, the expert must include a comment in the remark box. Competency question evaluate the specificity of the ontology that is required to represent the question and to characterize their solution. The Sparkle query language in Protege will ensure the validity of the proposed ontology model by expressing real-world queries and has proven to be more efficient and accurate. This is to ensure the correctness of the developed ontology for ethical issues in SNS based on Ibn Khaldun thoughts. The set of competency questions need to be assigned in a query language as a preparation before the exact execution on Sparkle query. In the context of the research, Sparkle query was utilized for the execution of competency question on the Protege based on the question defined from Ibn Khaldun thoughts and tweets issues from Twitter. For the formalized query language, the competency question was formulated based on Ibn Khaldun thoughts and the ethical issues identified in tweets from the Twitter. Then, the competency question was submitted to the system using a Sparkle query language. 146 competency questions were constructed for execution and formulated to find out the accuracy and functionality of the ontology, providing the answer as well as to check on its correctness. The user assessment is the final stage of ontology evaluation. Ontology assessment is generally performed by user to determine the quality and consistency of the ontology from the user point of view. The result obtained from the execution of Sparkle query were then transmitted to the participating user to determine whether Ibn Khaldun thoughts and the ethical issues identified in tweet from Twitter meet the suitability standard, depending on the suitable and not suitable scale. They were also asked to give reason for the selection of the not suitable. At this point, the list of Ibn Khaldun thoughts has been calculated to include in the assessment form based on the chosen Twitter tweets that convey a negative statement only. This process was carried out using the provided form, which included each chosen tweet accompanied by Ibn Khaldun thought as a solution to the ethical issues. Any formality has been incorporated into this analysis for ontology evaluation by using criteria proposed by Dick Bell and Crader, to which the ontology relation must be evaluated. There are 10 criteria that has been chosen for this research. The evaluation process was established to verify the semantic relationship and validate the usefulness of ontology on ethical issues in SNS based on Ibn Khaldun thoughts. The validation result from the chosen expert that have been appointed to evaluate the main concept within ontology for ethical issues in SNS and Ibn Khaldun thoughts. From the validation by expert from the information and technology in department, the list of concepts assigned for Ibn Khaldun thoughts and tweet was finalized after the expert checked the concept met all the list criteria. However, in the validation process, the expert highlighted 3 criteria only: comprehensive, competency, and completeness, with the remark difficult to confirm. It is because they felt that the ontology concept must be viewed to have a deep understanding of Ibn Khaldun thoughts and validate the ontology concept fulfill the selected criteria. For the validation by expert from the Human Science Department, the result from the validation task by expert met all the 10 list criteria of obeying, and the expert comment that the concept assigned for Ibn Khaldun thought and Twitter tweets were compliant for all criteria in the list. The verification part, the result from the chosen expert have been appointed to confirm whether the tweet statement under the study were positive, natural, or negative in nature and to verify Ibn Khaldun thought related to the tweets. From the part verification by expert from the Information Technology Department, in task 1, the expert verified the suitability of concept assigned for Ibn Khaldun thought and tweet from Twitter. They found that all concepts assigned for Ibn Khaldun thought and tweet for Twitter meet all the theme and concept assigned for each class in Protege. Likewise, the expert reviewed the correctness of concept for Ibn Khaldun thought related to the tweet and description of Ibn Khaldun thought for each subclass in task 2. They thoroughly checked the categorization table of tweets and match them against the related Ibn Khaldun thought in the verification form. The results show that the concept carries either negative, positive, or neutral statement, which indicate that not all the themes or concepts assigned for each subclass in ontology are arranged accordingly. Thus, the tweet categories were revised based on all the recommendations provided by the expert and were finalized after the consultation with the committee. For the verification by experts from the Human Science Department, in Task 1, the experts provide their opinion on the suitability of concepts assigned for Ibn Khaldun thoughts with the proposed subclasses. The results show that the suitability of concepts assigned for Ibn Khaldun thought for each of the subclasses in ontology was comprehensively analyzed by experts. Most of the assigned concepts were considered accurate with the proposed subclasses. The experts suggest that the subclasses be replaced with another word that is more direct to represent the concept. For Task 2, the expert reviewed the coordinate of the description of Ibn Khaldun thought for each class subclasses. As a result, the description which have been assigned for Ibn Khaldun thought class were found to be correct and met all the theme or concept assigned. However, although the description of Ibn Khaldun thought for each subclass was correct, they need to be detailed to describe each of the concepts presented. Experts believe that they were required to have a correct idea of Ibn Khaldun concept so that they could be more precise in choosing the description of each concept. The result from the execution of Formula 146 some competency questions were generated through the Sparkle query. The query could be understood by the Sparkle engine using a query generator and pattern heuristic. Sparkle's role was to produce a result based on the knowledge available in the ontology that is related to Ibn Khaldun thought and tweets. All the relationships within the ontology semantic relationship have been verified and reviewed by the expert during the evaluation stage before being constructed in the Sparkle query. The successful execution of formalized competency question conducted in the Sparkle query indicate the capability of the ontology in answering the prepared question that suit to the purpose of the ontology. This is the example of the formalization of competency question in the Sparkle query. For the competency question 1, what are the ethical issues in SNS related to the caliphate? This question was successfully answered by assessment of Exhibit 3 result from the Sparkle query execution. The user assessment form listed the overall result of the ethical issues of tweet and on Twitter and the possible Ibn Khaldun thought. User rate the suitability of the general ethical issue from the tweet on Twitter and their relationship Ibn Khaldun thought suitable or not suitable. 146 tweets originating from 1075 public tweets have been collected, which include only negative statement only. Out of the 372 Ibn Khaldun thought that have been assigned to ethical tweets, there are 231 equivalent to 62% of the range of the result which have been classified as suitable. Another 130 equal 35% of the result were categorized as not suitable, and 11 results equivalent to 3% were categorized as unanswered by the user in the assessment form. Therefore, most of the Ibn Khaldun thought provided by the ontology as a solution to the ethical issues of tweeting have achieved a suitable level of the ontology's usefulness from the point of the view of the user. Here the show of the result, the suitability result and the user assessment result in the graph. For the conclusion, the evaluation result and the content have been validated and verified by the expert. The comments were reviewed and remarks were made in line with their suggestion. The ontology for ethical issues in SNS based on Ibn Khaldun thoughts has been successfully developed with the expected outcome for this research. Thus, the ontology evaluation phase has captured the explicit and implicit knowledge since it received input, remarks and suggestions from the expert. This development phase provides the ontology model for ethical issues in SNS based on Ibn Khaldun thoughts, containing classes and subclasses, instances, objective properties, and semantic relationship between them. Furthermore, the user assessment shows positive results on the benefit of the general Ibn Khaldun thought on ethical issues in tweet. All this process make it possible for the build ontology to be tested successfully. Theoretically, the remark and justification by the expert will be different to prove that the human justification for relevant frequency is different for system application generate relevant feedback. Thank you.